Hey guys, it's me Dina and I'm finally recording my Jaj Mahshe, stuffed Cornish hens. This is such an easy and delicious recipe. It's one of my all-time favorites and I'm so happy to finally share it with you. Let's start with the filling. First, you're going to start out with salting some water and boiling your rice as you would for a pasta. While that's going, we're going to saute some ground beef with some seasonings, and everything will be listed in the description box. Once the meat is finished, just set it aside because we're waiting for the rice to be al dente. So you want it to be about 3/4 of the way cooked before we take it out of the water. As you can see, it's now ready to be taken out of the water, and I put it in a flat foil sheet tray so it could cool down faster. It's still not fully cooked, it's still got a bite to it, and here we're using Calrose or Egyptian rice. On the rice, we add the ground beef. And now we are going to be adding some peas. These are frozen peas. No need to cook them because everything is hot and they'll actually help cool down your filling for your stuffed hens. Next, we're going to be pan frying some pine nuts. If you don't have pine nuts, you can use almonds or cut up cashews, peanuts, whatever kind of nut you prefer. I do like pine nuts more. And see the oil that I'm frying them in? I'm also going to put that on my filling. You want some fat in your filling. So now we're going to just spread it all evenly. And we're going to season our filling. So now to the filling, we're going to be sprinkling some chicken bouillon powder on top of the rice, some black pepper, some garlic powder, and we're going to sprinkle some salt. And we're just going to mix it all together and set it aside so it can be fully cooled before filling our hens, our Cornish hens. You can also use this recipe with chicken. Roasting time will vary, but exactly the same way of stuffing them. Of course, it's just going to be on a larger scale. Okay, so now that our rice filling is finished, we can set it aside and let it fully cool. Now let's prep the marination for the Cornish hens. Here you've got some olive oil, balsamic vinegar. This is not traditional Jaj Mahshe, guys, so please don't at me. Some seasoning salt, some smoked paprika, a little bit of turmeric, and some cumin, some garlic powder, black pepper, and we just mix it together. Now we have to rinse our Cornish hens with cold water, and you want to pat them dry. Make sure you wash them well because they were pre-frozen and they're in their wrapping. Some of them may come with the neck inside of the cavity, so make sure you get that out. So now that I'm going to show you with a close-up, and then I'll fill the rest of them up. I'm going to marinate it on the inside and the outside of the chicken, or the hen. You want the seasonings all over it and also on the inside. And you can let these marinate for about an hour or two, depending on your time and however much time you feel the hens need to marinate. Here, I'm just showing you really quickly how to fill one, just for recording purposes, but this is an important part. I like to get as much filling in my hens as possible, so see the breast skin. What I like to do is take my finger and separate the skin from the meat, just like that. And you want to go about your index fingers length in because you want as much filling to be with your hen. And that's going to be our pocket for more of the rice filling. And they also look really, really good once it's finished because the skin becomes crispy and it's just so delicious. Okay, so now I have it separated. I'm ready to take the filling with a spoon and fill it. I'm showing you all these details just because you really do have to make sure that all the skin is separated just so it looks better. There's some parts that are stuck to the meat, so you need to use your finger just to make sure you're separating it. So now with a small spoon, I'm going to fill the inside cavity of the hen. Don't forget the rice is not fully cooked, so it will expand a little. You don't want to fill it to the rim, and you don't want to make it to where there's no space for the rice to expand. I'm all about presentation, so I don't like the rice to be coming out of the chickens once it's roasted. If I'm using a whole chicken and not a Cornish hen, I fill it exactly the same, not all the way to where it's like packed tight. It's loosely inside of the skin. And then here you can take either toothpicks and close the cavity. You can do what I'm doing. I'm taking some string and I'm tying the legs together, crossing them, and that's going to keep the filling inside of the Cornish hens. You can use some of the poultry string, whatever you see fit to hold them together. I have another trick of how to hold the drumsticks together, but that's for another video. And now you want to tuck the wingtip back. It just looks really nice once it's roasted. Typically I cut them off, but in this case I feel like it looks so pretty once it's roasted and it's like tucked back like that. And now you want to sit it like this in the bowl. I like to use a bowl when filling just so it can collect all the excess filling that falls on the sides. And you just want to stuff the breast cavity with the rice filling. Again, don't overpack it because the rice will expand. It's not fully cooked. And because the skin will, it will hold its shape tighter as it cooks, no need to put anything to close the rice inside of the cavity. See how there's some excess skin on the tip? That's just going to hold your rice filling in. And I'm just showing you this for visual purposes, roasting one like this. I did a foil lined pan. And this one is ready to be popped into the oven. But before we do that, I want to show you my trick, my foil teepee trick, so you can get even browning on your roasted chickens or Cornish hens. I do a little teepee for the breast cavity and one for the drumstick tips because they always seem to burn and it doesn't look good when I'm serving. So now let me get the rest of my Cornish hens filled, marinated, prepped, and just watch along. And then the roasting directions and everything will be listed below in the description box. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll respond so everybody else can see the answer. And I really do hope that you guys like my technique of Jaj Mahshe. I know this is not the traditional way, but it's so delicious. We like to serve it with chopped Arabic salad, which I have the recipe for that also on my page. Some yogurt, cucumber yogurt salad, and alf saha wa afia. I hope you guys make this recipe and enjoy it. Thanks for watching.